When are you gonna make a video, slacker? I'm sorry. So first of all, Tristan and I drove up to North Carolina to spend a week at the beach with my family on the Outer Banks. We didn't get to go in the water very much because it was absolutely frigid, but we ate a lot of food, and we also got to climb the Cape Hatteras Lighthouse. So here's some footage of that. We came back down to Tallahassee for a minute, and then we rushed down to Orlando because it was nearly July 15th, which meant it was time. Harry Potter, that is. After grabbing our tickets early Thursday morning, we went and walked around the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, ate at 3 Broomsticks because it's so good. Then we went, got dressed up, and got ready to see the movie. I may have told someone off in a Gryffindor costume because he was giving me hell for being a Slytherin. Listen, don't be hating on my house. I might not be evil, but I'm definitely meaner than you. Tristan and I were the first people in our theater. I'm not kidding. We literally got the exact 2 center seats. It was awesome. People in that theater sobbed the entire movie. But they also gasped and laughed and screamed and renewed their sobs at all of the right moments. Despite the extra noise in the theater, I really don't think that I could have ever watched another Potter film without an audience like that. Being in a theater full of people who are absolutely and completely in love with Harry Potter, every single person, I just felt like it was a beautiful experience. And seeing the movie a couple of days later with a theater that wasn't full of LeakyCon attendees, it wasn't even close. After the film, I felt like a part of me had not really died, but left. I don't know if it was that there was no more anticipation of a book or a film, and I was sort of coming to terms with that, but I was just completely emotionally drained, and yes, I cried the whole thing. I didn't sob loudly, but I cried. Tristan was kind enough to let us have dinner in sort of near silence, and I think I was just sort of like processing how crazy this all is, and how I couldn't really believe that it was over. And I know that it's not really over because there's still so many people that love Harry Potter, but it's still the end of something new. Until Pottermore. Whatever Pottermore actually is. We then started our LeakyCon adventure. After the movie, we went to a Wizard Rock concert. Actually my first Wizard Rock concert since seeing Harry and the Potters when I was in high school, so, you know, a long time ago. Eventually, someday, I'm going to do a lot of research about Wizard Rock and write about it, because I just think that it's an interesting phenomenon, and yes, so someday. That night, after working up the courage a little bit, I finally introduced myself in person to Christina Horner, and she is really amazingly nice. We talked for a little bit, awkwardly, because I'm awkward in person. You might find that hard to believe, but I am totally awkward. It was wonderful to get to meet her. She played a really big role in this fundraiser that I'm doing, and I was just happy to sort of thank her in person. And I wish I could thank all of you in person, but this is going to have to do YouTube medium. We didn't go to LeakyCon on Friday because we didn't have tickets. On Saturday, I got to meet all of the hosts of Hogwarts Radio, which is a Harry Potter podcast that I'm a big fan of, and they're all really cool, so that was a lot of fun. They did a live show, so Tristan and I stayed and listened to that, and then we went to a presentation about real-life magic or something. Muggle magic? Tristan understood what the girl was talking about, and I had no idea. But she was absolutely incredibly excited about what she was presenting on, and that to me is worth sitting through a presentation where it was like a completely foreign language to me. I love seeing people passionate about things. We may have snuck into StarKid even though we didn't buy tickets, but no one was standing at the door, so we just thought we could go in. Oops. But that was neat to see them all singing and see Darren Criss, because he's kind of sort of like a real famous person now. Then we saw the movie for the second time, and despite the less enthusiastic audience, I got to see it with my family, and it was an IMAX, so that was pretty cool. Hermione's head was like a small skyscraper. Saturday night was the Esther Earl Charity Ball, which was incredibly fun. We danced and sang and drank and all around raised hell. This event really put into perspective the variety of people that love Harry Potter. There were children there with their parents. Some parents were dressed up and totally into it, and some parents were not. Sorry for them. There were teenagers, there were people in their 20s like me, there were people my parents' age, and there were like old people. Everyone was dressed to the nines, some in Harry Potter get-ups and some not. Some of my favorite costumes that I saw, there was a guy dressed up as Mad-Eye Moody for the whole weekend, and he was absolutely perfect. He looked exactly like Mad-Eye Moody from the movie. There was also a couple. One was dressed as Snape, and he had some lights dangling from his wand that were connected to the girl who was dressed completely in silver, and she was a doe, like she had ears and everything, so she was, you know, Lily, the Lily Patronus. And I think my favorite was an older guy dressed up as Snape in Neville Longbottom's grandmother's clothes. Green dress and furs and all. So good. LeakyCon was just, you know, incredible. My only regret is that we couldn't afford to buy tickets for the entire weekend when we bought the tickets. Tristan and I still had an amazing time, and we're saving up for next year. We're either going to go to LeakyCon wherever it happens to be, if it happens, but if not, Ascendio 2012. By the way, this is my old bedroom in my parents' house, just in case you were wondering.